MMA is probably one of the greatest and toughest sports of this day. While many sports have to encompass one particular set of skills, MMA fighters have to encompass a wide range of different skills, such as striking, kicking, and grappling. For this wide spectrum of skills and intensity of the fights, MMA fighters are often considered as some of the toughest competitors of all sports. Yet while they are amazing at their set of skills and the ability to fight in a consensual duel, sometimes MMA practitioners believe that it covers the whole range of skills necessary for a self-defense situation. Personally, I think that MMA fighters will have a huge advantage in self-defense over an untrained attacker, yet it is still highly important to recognize both the strengths and shortcomings of any practice. For this reason, in this martial arts journey video, we will take a look at 5 things missing in MMA for self-defense. Number 1. Dealing with weapons. While an MMA fighter is very adept in dealing against a bare-handed opponent, the use of weapons, both striking weapons and also guns, changes the situation dramatically. While an MMA fight will normally never lead to the use of weapons, most training do not include teaching the skills to deal with them. Yet a self-defense situation has no limitations in this realm. Dealing with a weapon may include the need of additional skills such as keeping extra distance and using objects in between, finding an improvised weapon, blocking the hand which holds the weapon, and more. These are not just trained physical skills, but also specific knowledge which needs to be addressed and known, and does not come as general knowledge. While dealing with weapons is not taught in most MMA gyms, if an MMA fighter ever gets into a situation where he has to deal with one without special preparation, it may lead to disaster. Number 2. Dealing with multiple attackers. Because of the rules, an MMA fight always happens between 2 fighters. This, of course, is not the case in many self-defense situations. Fighting against more than one person, same way as including weapons, adds a very whole new dimension to the situation. If a fighter is used to train and fight with just one person, he may spend too much time focusing on one attacker, while others are attacking from different directions, which make it almost impossible to defend from. Also, going to the ground is not an option in such a situation, and if not considered before, may very well happen as a habit of an experienced MMA fighter. Additional skills are also required, such as using objects or even an attacker to prevent others from attacking at the same time, and these skills also need to be trained upon themselves. If the situation of multiple attackers is unaddressed and specifically untrained, it may cause very much danger even to the best fighter. Number 3. Dealing with an ambush. While MMA is the king of dealing in a consensual fight, most self-defense situations will not include a consent between both participants and will start with an ambush, which adds a different dimension. While the mastered reaction time of an MMA fighter may definitely help in such a situation, it is usually trained against specific attacks from a prepared fighting stance against a visible and known opponent. Having a random attack coming from any direction when the defending person is in no means in a fighting stance may require a more primal response, which at best circumstances needs to be also given time to be trained. Such a situation may also require additional skills such as using hands as a fence if the potential attacker is visible, maintaining distance from potential danger, and observative skills which lead to the next point. Number 4. Prevention skills. Many people confuse a consensual fight with self-defense. The goal of a consensual fight is most often to prove your superiority against an opponent, or in other words, to win. While it's still different from an MMA fight, because of the lack of rules and high unpredictability, still, this relates quite strongly to an MMA fight, and for this reason, the skills of an MMA fighter can translate to the situation quite well. Nevertheless, taking it just for that may be dangerous. Normally, a consensual fight is not considered a self-defense situation. A true self-defense situation consists of a willing attacker or attackers who are threatening a non-willing individual, and often attack without any notice. In a self-defense situation, the goal is not to win, but to survive, and that can be done in various ways. And the best skills of them all here is prevention skills. Becoming used to observe the surroundings, choosing a safer route, maintaining distance, using verbal de-escalation, and the most simple, running away, are crucial skills to decreasing the need to defend physically. Actually, that is what mostly self-defense is about. If not addressed by an MMA fighter, the mentality of the need to beat up and win against a possible threat instead of avoiding and potentially running away may come in and lead to disaster. Also, the lack of developed observation skills may also increase the possibility of danger. Thus, these skills and knowledge must be addressed to enhance the individual's ability to stay safe, and it leads to the last point. Number 5. Addressing the gap between sports and self-defense. While the ability of an MMA fighter to defend may be much higher than of an untrained person, some MMA practitioners strongly believe that MMA is complete upon itself as a self-defense tool. The gap for an MMA fighter to bridge in order to translate their skills and become much more efficient in self-defense may be quite narrow. Yet as already discussed, it needs to be addressed by the gym, coach, or the practitioner itself in order for that gap to close. If it is not addressed, this contrary false belief may very well lead to overconfidence, the wrong choice in a specific situation, and again, disastrous outcome. Considering this short bit of information, it becomes clear that this is not a big problem to solve, yet it does need addressing. And as long as we stay true to both our superiorities and shortcomings, and we do not try to fit one size to all feet, we should be fine and safe with our training, both as fighters and as people who simply stay safe. What do you think about these 5 points? Did you also experience some MMA practitioners confusing self-defense with sport? Let me know in the comments. If you like the video and you want to share its message, share it on your social media and with your friends. For more videos like this one, subscribe. This was Rokas, and I wish you to own your journey.